And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with us on the Doing All Right. Bryan, I've been pushing the promo here just a little more recently there. Draft 101.
Yeah.
Draft 101 is going to be a situation that we're doing. I'm about to pull up the memo right now. It's free. It's free, and you can get some Whataburger. So if you ain't ate all day, you can come tap in. We'll feed you and all that. But Draft 101 is going to be at I got the address right here for you, Bryan Broaddus, at 4131 North Central Parkway.
North Central Expressway.
Pardon me. Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
There's the address. You could pause and write that down if you want to. The whole draft showcase will be there, kicking it and taking questions. So we would like it if y'all came through and asked us a shit ton of questions. That'll be fun. And hey, come shake our hand, and we'll tell you thank you for holding us down and all that. Please.
Yeah. Can I encourage folks, if you're not a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, but you're a fan of the drafts, I had last year when we were at the Star. I had a guy come up to me afterwards, introduce himself. Very nice gentleman. He said, "Hey, I didn't want to ask a question because I'm a Lions fan and I didn't want to disrupt the flow," that kind of thing. And I said, "Hey, well, listen, thank you for showing up. I really do appreciate you. If you're a fan of another team and you're a fan of the draft and you're listening to this, come on with us.
Yeah.
Don't feel like this is just a bunch of people. There'll be Dallas Cowboys fans there. Don't get me wrong, because we're here in the DFW area. But if you're a fan of another team and you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, by all means, and you get your draft question answered, please show up. We're here for you too. That's our responsibility. That's why we do this. That's why we put up boards. That's why we've been doing this thing since November, is because of the passion that we have for it. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate Voch letting me be a partner with him on this channel. He and I have got big plans ahead that we're going to announce here very soon, and very excited about that. And so, but if you're a fan, come onto the showroom. The doors open at 6:45. I'll be coming off a show likely, unless we got Ranger baseball, but I'll be coming off a show at 7. It's the studios where we're at there with Odyssey, where we broadcast on the 11th floor. The showroom's on the lower floor. So if you park, it's a parking garage in there, park right in there, come on in and get lined up, and then get your seat. And then we'll have some draft talk. But I encourage everybody to come. My buddy Travis Hill, who does big things with Whataburger, will be feeding us. So get your Whataburger, sit down, and get ready for some quality draft talk before the draft.
And Bryan, I'm going to wear a suit because I don't know how many more of these I got in me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to just be flashy.
No, man.
I'm about to be flashy as all get out.
Just show up in your save your suit for the first night of the draft.
I got many suits. I got many suits, bro. I got many suits I want to wear.
Okay,
yo,
good
bro,
for you.
Yo, bro, I got 4 days. I'm trying to cover some outfits here. All right. And look, see, bro, I don't know when I'm gonna get to do this again. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
See this.
I told you. Hey, we got big plans, man. We're gonna do some stuff where we wear some suits. We'll figure it out. I'll let you wear a suit. I'll let you wear a suit one day if you want to. We'll have fun.
Crown Media, get us a little Crown Global Media, get us a little wardrobe budget in there. That's cool, but but this might be the last hurrah at these spots. So I'm gonna have to dress the part. But Bryan, man, Bryan, we was waiting on this one, man. We was waiting on this last wide receiver to kind of get crossed off that list, man. Matthew Golden, per Nick Harris, per Jordan Schultz. Matthew Golden, the Texas. I got to pull it up right here. There we go. Matthew Golden, the Texas wide receiver, is visiting the Cowboys on Thursday after meeting with the Bucs today. So Bryan, we could take this seriously, right? Like we could take them looking at wide receivers seriously. Looking at the list of guys, Bryan, there's a bunch of first round guys, but this just makes it more clear to me that out of all the first round grades that I have, Bryan Broaddus, wide receiver leads the race, with like 4 guys, I believe. Burden, we got these guys.
Yeah.
This is the last piece. So Bryan, you would say Cowboys taking this seriously, right?
Yes, sir. I think you're on to something here. When I was told, and this is before the Golden visit was even announced.
Yeah.
I was told, like, hey, listen, even if Golden is not part of this, the 30 visits, we still think. So this might be a thing where the schedule for him kind of worked out, the Tampa to here, and then these guys have, they've got to be someplace for a day to 2 days. So they got to kind of navigate schedules and what teams want to bring them in. So maybe he had an opening. Maybe there was some conflict there that didn't allow him initially to come in, but here he is now. I think they're serious about the wide receiver, and I think people out there can see that. Anybody that watches our show knows that when we talk wide receiver, we don't talk nearly enough about Hunter, but there's Hunter. We talk about McMillan, we talk about Abuka, we talk about Burden, and we talk about Golden. They got their bases covered here. And I asked Zach Wolchek this question today, Voch. All those receivers, which you consider at 12, but I'm going to say this. I think, and I'm going to guess it. I think your one guy you wouldn't take at 12 was probably be Burden.
It's probably Burden.
Okay.
And this is
everybody else is in play for you.
Sure. And this is because this is something that me and you talked about a couple of weeks ago. I was like, you kind of got to know what the rest of the league thinks about a guy, like in order to draft properly, right? So the rest of the league can't be like, oh, Burden's a diva, I wouldn't take him in the first round.
Right.
And we the only ones talking about taking him at 12. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you have to kind of make an adjustment to what everybody else is kind of doing. It sounds like you window dressing, but Burden's still a first round player. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On my board, I'm not moving him from there. But if anything, now I'm looking at it like, well, if Burden there at 44, we having a party, Brian. You understand what I'm saying? So with the whole league seemingly down on Burden, he's the one guy that's the odd man out. But it seems to be this race between Matthew Golden and Ted McMillan, Bryan Broaddus, and I'll be fine with either one of those.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think they definitely need the help. I mean, I know you and I have had some concerns about the Hampton selection.
Sure.
And nothing against Hampton, but Mel Kiper in 3 mock drafts has picked Martin Hampton as the guy. And I always worry about Kiper because he's the one guy that told me they were going to pick Tyler Smith when nobody else did. And so I'm always thinking, well, we had some guys, I contacted some guys, and I said, hey, listen, 3 times this guy told me, actually a couple different guys said, no, we wouldn't do that. Now my guys go, we shouldn't say never, you should never say never, but I don't think they're going to take Hampton at 12. I don't get that vibe right now. Now, again, you never know what happens when the commissioner says, welcome to the 2025 NFL draft, and away we go. You never know what's going to happen in front of you and on the board and stuff. But I just got the vibe that they were not going to take Hampton at 12. And I'm like, cool. Okay. But we'll see what happens. I want to walk you through a couple of these things then real quick.
Hell yeah, bro.
Okay. These names that we're starting to get. And, I think we're up to 18 of them now. So I want to ask you about a trade up, or not trade up, but a trade back. Is this a stay or trade pick at 12 for you? If I could do that.
Hell yeah.
I know we've talked about, pick 3 out of this, but
sure.
I want to know if this is a stand there and pick. I want to know how committed you are to these players at 12.
Please.
Okay. How committed are you to the defensive end Pierce from Tennessee at 12?
I'm not. Just like we said, we have to kind of make adjustments based on what the league is thinking. And hey man, I heard some people say that they heard some weird little mess about Pierce. So I imagine he's gonna fall a good little bit. So if he's gonna fall for them, he gotta fall with us too. So if we talking about him like at 44.76, we can talk about it. But I can't take him at 12 if ain't nobody else gonna take him at 12 or at Webb.
Okay. Minbao, tackle, Missouri. Got to visit, 30 visit, Cowboys.
I will stand in there and take him, play him at right guard, put him at right tackle later.
Okay. Michael Williams. I know where this one's going. It's not a stand in there at 12. We've talked about this one a bunch, but Michael Williams is a go-back guy for you.
Yeah, I'm on the phone, yeah.
Hampton, running back. We just talked about him, North Carolina. He's a visit.
Yeah.
You're going back on that one, aren't you, if you can?
If the phone is ringing and I have suitable compensation, then I'm trading away and getting away from Hampton. If the phone doesn't ring, the room says Hampton and he's the best guy, I wouldn't like it. But I can at least say that my run game's gotten better. It's not that we hate the player, it's just we wouldn't take him at 12. Sure. I'm with you on that one. Yeah.
McMillan from Arizona.
I'm taking him and I'm throwing a party.
Okay. So you've got Minbao and McMillan as your two stand-ins so far.
Yes, sir.
Luther Burden, we talked about a little bit. Missouri wide receiver.
I'm trying to see if I can trade back from him. I wouldn't take him at 12 if nobody would take him at 13. I'm trying to trade back.
Okay. Ibuka from Ohio State, wide receiver.
He's right at the bottom of my list, though, Brian. He's right at the bottom of my list. He might be like my 15th guy, you know? I would like to think that I'm not overthinking it because, Brian, this is watch this, Brian. This is a game that we could play one day. Maybe not what first round wiped out look like, but what does wiped out of a certain group looks like. So let's say that you don't take Ibuka right here thinking, oh, I'll get a wide receiver later.
Sure.
Besh, Williams, Harris, all those guys go.
Right.
And your second round wiped at receiver. One day we could talk about that. But if it's me knowing how bad we need receiver, Golden, McMillan are going, I take Ibuka simply because I don't want to shoot dice and play wide receiver games just in case Besh and the second round guys I like are going.
There's a good shot. I think there's a good shot, depending on where you play Hunter. There's a good shot at 12. You're going to have the choice of the the wide receiver you want, right?
Sure.
God, do we worry about San Francisco at 11 moving out of there? Yeah. Or do you worry about San Francisco taking one of those guys? Or do you worry about San Francisco? Okay, Hunter's off the board, gone. Do you worry about San Francisco at 11 taking McMillan or one of these guys, a Golden, somebody like that? I know in your mind you would take it's McMillan, Golden, Ibuka, and then Burden, right?
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Do you worry about San Francisco, A, taking the best wide receiver off your board, or San Francisco trading the pick, people thinking that Dallas might take a wide receiver there and jump ahead of Dallas to get the best receiver? Is McMillan a trade up, do you think, for somebody?
He should be.
Yeah.
Based on what the recent reports are saying, I call BS on Ty McShay and Mel Kiper and Daniel Jeremiah. Shouts out to those guys.
Yeah.
McMillan's my sixth best guy on my board.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that nonsense. So he should be a trade up guy. But he may or may not be that. So if anybody trades up to go get him, in real life, Brian, how my brain's wired, we shouldn't be having a chance at damn McMillan. No way. You know how we think about Genty now? Oh, there's no way Genty even be there.
Oh, no. I mean, for months, you and I dealt with in December, January, all we dealt with was, well, God, there's no why would you take Genty? Why would you take Genty? My gosh, he's a running back. Why? How about because he's the best damn player, one of the best damn players in the draft?
Sure.
How about that?
Sure.
How about that?
I think the same thing about McMillan, Brian. So if we don't get him, he's my 6th best player, and we drafting at 12, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'll just pivot and get Golden. I'll pivot and I'll get Ibuka, whatever. I'm not worried about the 49ers. And if we get wiped at wide receiver, I'm not afraid to take offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you take them, cool. I'll just pivot.
Okay. So you're okay then if McMillan goes off the board, you're okay because you feel like, you know what? Give me Golden.
Give me Golden.
Give me Golden. We'll be good. Yeah.
I would only be upset if McMillan is there and we take Will Johnson or Mike Hill Williams. That'll upset the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That's it.
See, and folks, we don't hate the players. No. It's just that I think I got better.
I want to optimize 12th overall.
I'm sorry I didn't speak for you. I didn't mean to do that.
No, please, no.
I just have players better.
That's it.
That's it. That's all it is. It's not. And you know what? I'm happy that Will Johnson's going to run next Monday. Mm-hmm. Happy about that. You know, I'm great. Will Johnson's been taking a lot of trips this week. I hope he's ready to run.
Yep.
You know, I mean, he's taking a lot of trips. I hope we're ready to run. But if he doesn't, hey, I'll understand. I won't get my feelings hurt.
Sure.
But that's just a piece of the puzzle I won't have for him. Mm-hmm. But I guess you can say that about a lot of guys because a lot of guys aren't going to run.
Yeah.
But with him, I kind of would like to know. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we got through. How about Banks? Banks at 12.
His stock's kind of dropped a little bit too, Brian.
Yeah, it has.
And honestly, I wouldn't take Banks. Like if I had to pick between Banks, Mbao, Booker, Simmons, Banks is probably less than those guys. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, possibly. So
yeah,
I'm just not even going to rock with Banks like that.
Mbao is the top rated offensive lineman that's visited so far. Am I right on your board?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Because we're not going to get Simmons. It doesn't sound like Simmons is going to visit here. So that kind of takes us potentially out of the look for Simmons.
Correct.
Okay. So Mbao would be the guy that we would say, let's go. Let's take him if that was the case.
100%.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
So Banks is a trade down. Nolan, Ole Miss defensive tackle.
I'm trading back, man. Y'all can have Nolan, dog.
Okay, no I got you. How about Reville from East Carolina?
I can't, in good faith, coming off that knee like that, take him at 12.
Some people have made some really good arguments against him,
mm-hmm.
and it's made me think. I'm going to be the stubborn old scout. I'm going to keep him in the first round.
Sure.
And I'm going to pray. This is what you said, that some teams are having that thought that, well, maybe he can't do that. Maybe he can't. I'm praying he gets to me at 44.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm going to roll the dice on him. I'm going to have a backup plan ready. I'll have one of those running backs ready. I'll have me selfishly. I'm not going to move the guy out of the first round. I'm not. And I would take him over some of those second round running backs if it was me.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
That's me. That's me.
Well, if you hit on them, you just got 2 first round guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's how I look at it.
That's your Diggs draft. That's your Lamb and Diggs draft right there all over again. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
It is.
That's a hell of a draft for you. Yeah.
It is. So he's kind of the last one of the guys that are potential, first round guys on boards. Mm-hmm. That everything else is. Let me ask you this. Well, we've kind of done this, so we don't need to do the drill. Junkins, third or second?
I got Quinshawn in the 3rd round. Yes, sir.
Henderson, running back, Ohio State.
Henderson in the 2nd round, sir.
Tutton.
I got Bay Shoal. I got him in the 4th, but Brian, I can see it if he goes 3.
Okay. Would you consider him at 76?
I think you have to.
I do too.
I think you have to. Because look, I got him in the 4th round but I only got 13 first-round grades.
Yeah.
So he might be the 76th player on the board.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You know what I'm
you're
saying?
Absolutely right about that. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So, yeah.
Jonah from Zona.
What round? 76?
Yeah.
I wouldn't take him at 76. I wouldn't take him at 76.
Collins, you would take it 44, defensive tackle from Texas?
I would take him in the third round. Yes, sir. I would take him at 76.
Would you take Collins at 44?
I wouldn't
tackle.
I wouldn't take him at 44. I got a third round grade on him. And I think drafting at the top of the second round, man, Brian, so Kenny Grant will likely be gone, but I got Tyleek Williams, Derek Harmon probably be gone, Nolan probably be gone, Darius Alexander may be there. TJ Sanders, Norman Lott, CJ West, Jordan. Like I'm taking all those guys over him at 44.
All those guys over them. I got you. You. Mabuka, we've talked about. We've had a lot of discussions about the safety from Texas. Yeah. Kind of feel like he's a 44 for us.
Brian,
we probably you and I are. I think Wolchuk's with us in that boat. Yeah. I think Wolchuk's paddling out in the ocean right now with us. On that one.
I didn't want to loudly disagree with my cohorts because I take enough time up, as is, Bryan Broaddus. But I got a little bit of time to unpack it here now. And I don't want nobody thinking I'm just screaming on people that ain't screaming back. Like you'll at least scream back at me. I don't see Andrew Makuba as a nickel at all. I think he'll line up at nickel sometime if a tight end over there. You know what I'm saying? Like if the tight end in the slot or something, he'll line up in the nickel then.
Why did you not lose it then? Why did you not lose it then?
Brian, because I read a lot of comments and I'm aware that the people in the draft show could get sick of me if I do. There's a line that I'm at. You know what I'm saying? There's a line that I could be overbearing.
Is there the line that people are getting tired of you now?
They're not. I think they more tired of people that come and watch me. They tired of my comment section coming and traveling with me, which is fine. I love that. But I understand that I got to let 5 people talk. And I can't get into 3 arguments, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 2. So I can talk about Michael Williams, you know what I'm saying? I can fight about some other little stuff, but I can't loudly for the 3rd time be like, what you mean he a nickel? I don't see Andrew Makuba as a nickel at all. I don't really particularly see Andrew Makuba as a man cover guy that's chasing people around all the time. I think he's a good man cover dude sometimes.
Yeah.
I think depending on the slot guy, I think he can go play
slot. He's a damn good safety is what he is.
He's an incredible safety.
Yeah, he's a damn good safety.
Look, Brian,
I tried to say that.
Look, I wasn't on the camera when this happened, bro. Brian, look, I wasn't on the camera when this happened, but what Tommy was like, yeah, he's a nickel, but the next 6 highlights was all him playing deep safety, getting picks and big tackles from big safety. Hey, man, listen, Doc. Brian, see, I couldn't do this on the show, Brian, but I got time now. Brian, I think Andrew Makuba, what really makes him great is the fact that you just shouldn't leave him in one spot. And I was like, well, I think part of what makes him great is that he confuses your offense by playing in the box sometimes or playing deep sometimes or playing this half or playing that half.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Tommy, though. But when he was like, don't you think he could be more versatile from just nickel? And it took everything in my body to not say, no! No!
I went to the point where I said, well, damn, just draft Harrison.
Draft a nickel. Draft Maxwell Harrison. Because look, if I'm drafting Andrew Makuba, I'm not looking at Kalen Carson like you better watch yourself. I'm looking at Donovan Wilson.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker like, hey, y'all better get right because this kid can play both of these spots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to Time of the Day and all the conversation we had. Because I was about to loudly disagree about Oladejo too, because I think he's much better than Michael. But man, I just didn't see nickel corner and Andrew Makuba. I just didn't want that fight today, Brian, bro. That's all.
You did take on the Makuba fight though. It wasn't a fight. It was you used Tommy's scouting report, which sounded just
sounded just like Michael Williams, didn't it, Brian? That joint sounded just like Michael Williams.
I was sitting over there going, I had to catch myself. I'm like, are we talking about Michael Williams?
And that joint sounds just like Michael Williams, didn't it?
Yeah, it sounds just like I was like, what has happened here? What are we doing here?
I just used Tommy as the plot device to continue the story. He's a MacGuffin. He's a MacGuffin, Brian, to continue the arguments on the internet. It is what it is, Brian. But Andrew McCool's a really good safety that I would take in the second round.
He is a really good safety.
If you line his ass out there in the sliding, he got to chase CeeDee Lamb in practice. It's going to be a bad time.
Yeah, we're going to talk about what a bust pick that was.
Yeah, how terrible that was. Yeah, let him creep around Jake Ferguson in the robber or something, and then that's where McCool, he's great there. What else, Brian? You like a good fight, Brian. I don't want to fight and scream over people. I just don't want to be a punk on the internet. You know what I'm saying? And people will hold me accountable. My audience will hold me accountable. They be like, man, Voch. Oh, but your board don't have Michael Williams over Oladipo. Why you ain't say something? You know what I mean? And that makes me come out here and say something, Brian. You know what I'm saying? Because my audience will hold me, my beloved audience will hold me accountable for it, Brian. So that's why I come out and say this stuff, man. But I don't know, man. We gonna have a colorful draft day, 1, 2, and 3.
I was sitting there. I was kind of like going, no, wait, this guy's a safety. What are we talking about? Nickel.
That's all right, bro.
I was like, no.
That's all right. That's why it's 5 of us, so we can have a different range of opinions. You know what I'm saying? Because look, there's a war room somewhere that got him as a nickel, Brian.
Yeah.
They wrong, but they got him as a nickel in there, Brian. But yeah, whatever. Brian, let me ask you a question, man. One last thing before we get up out of here. As far as first round goes, it's getting kind of narrower. If you can narrow it down to 5 names, I think I'm overthinking the Michael Williams thing. I don't think he'll be in the discussion in the last final names that we discussed, Brian. He may be the 5th out of 5 names we discussed, Brian. If you had to narrow it down to 5, and if you want to do an order for extra credits, you can. Put them in order if you want to, but 5 guys we should be looking for in night 1 on Thursday.
Would you consider okay, so I think 5 is Michael Williams.
Yeah.
I think 4 very well could be Will Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I think they're kind of waiting to see what Will Johnson runs.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe that a runner's in play at 12. So I think that whole thing with Hampton and all that, I don't think that's I just, from talking to people, I just don't feel that's really the case.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at edge, corner,
offensive line,
now
offensive
line, the tackle, and then one of those wide receivers. I think it's going to come down to McMillan. I think it's going to come down to McMillan, Golden. We'll see which one of those offensive linemen.
Yeah.
They really, could they take Banks? Could they take Banks and play him at guard? There's a group in that room that really likes Banks.
Sure.
So, but could that be where we're at? Could it be that wide receiver, offensive lineman, edge, trying to kind of put it all together. I'm trying to get the exact names for you on this.
Stewart, Ravel, Burden, Jonah from Zona, those guys.
See, okay, this is okay. Let me just write real quick.
Yeah.
McMillan,
yeah.
Golden, Banks, Williams, and then both Williams. Yeah, Will Johnson.
Yeah.
Will Johnson. Yeah, is what I would do. So yeah, McMillan, Golden, Banks, Williams, Johnson.
I think that's an interesting selection, Brian. I think it's going to come down to those wide receivers, and honestly, if those guys get taken, which I don't think that they would, I don't think they're ashamed to go offensive line there. I mean,
no.
No.
So. That's why I think I don't think Minbao is going to be there. Mm-hmm. I personally don't think Minbao is going to be there. But say he is.
Yeah.
Then it comes down to McMillan, Golden, Minbao. And then I still think the edge, I think Williams is still in play here. And I think Johnson's in play, depending on what he runs.
Brian, we're going to find out real soon, man. You know, like in maybe another week or so, somebody's going to tap you on the shoulder, and, you know, that's when we're going to get a real good feel.
Where did you have it? Did you, out of those, just how did you have it in that?
I think it would be Golden, McMillan.
Okay. I mean, you're doing it for yourself. You have Golden, McMillan, or you're thinking Golden over McMillan.
I'm thinking
for them.
I'm thinking for them. I think there's a real life scenario.
Okay, they're going to take Gold.
In which somebody's in there.
Speed, yeah.
They're going to vouch for speed, route running, and timing.
Yep.
For their new offensive system. I think there's a lot of people in that room that have vouched for Golden over McMillan. That's the vibe I'm getting.
So you flip it, Golden, McMillan.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have the offensive lineman in there, or do you have somebody else that you like?
This is where it starts to get off the rails a little bit for me, because I would take the Ohio State receiver. But he may be a trade down option for them or trade back option for them. You know?
Oh yeah, no, I was trying to go the top two, because like I say, I think it's just wherever their stack is.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to say this. I think wide receivers they're going to be their pick at 12. That if you want to say it that way.
Sure.
McMillan, Golden,
Stewart, Shamar Stewart, A&M. You think they got him up there? I don't have him up there, but you think they got him up there?
He could be depending on how Johnson runs. Yeah. He could be the fifth guy. I bet you they would like Williams over Stewart.
Yeah, probably. And that's your first round guys right there, Brian. Because on this list, it's a bunch of second round dudes. You know, it's a couple of
running backs. That's why I asked you. That's what I asked you about standing there or trade back. And trade back's hard to do. I'm just saying that. I was just seeing how comfortable you were taking guys at 12, and obviously you've got probably 4 guys you would take out of that group at 12.
For sure. Well, that's where we at then, Bryan Broaddus. Fantastic exercise. Appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, man, this conversation is going to get more and more intense. We're going to revisit it in about a week and a half. We're going to see where we at with it based on the rumors that we've heard or whatever. But, ladies and gentlemen, y'all, please go in the comment section. Tell me what y'all think about Andrew McCouba. Tell us what you think about the list we just gave. And if you think that Matthew, because there's some people that'll be like, well, Voch, who is more Dak friendly? Who fits more, Andrew out of Matthew Golden or Ted McMillan? So maybe it's a conversation.
They both go get that ball. They both go get that ball.
They both fit. Y'all be sure, if y'all want to ask any questions, put them in the comments. But VOCHLONBARDI on Twitter. We try and get paid over there. And BRY Broaddus. And don't forget about Draft 101. Y'all go to my Twitter. It's retweeted up there. Y'all go to Brian's. You go to 105.3 The Fans. It's all over the place. And we'll see y'all there when y'all get there. It's free. And come get some Whataburger. All right? Y'all hold it down. Till next time. We love y'all. 2 pieces. Crown.